Let's be honest, when was the last time a new Indian action movie actually thrilled you? I'm not talking about a film that made you clap in the theater, but one that left you thinking about its fights, its choreography, and its sheer audacity. For a while now, what we have been getting feels less like action and more like noise. A mindless barrage of physics-defying stunts and CGI that looks straight out of a video game from 2005, leading to the question, why are the action films we once loved getting so bad? As an example to better explain our analysis, we'll primarily use the recently released War 2 as an example, along with several others to support our case.
You're goddamn right.
With that food for thought, let's get started with the first reason: action without emotions.
The base of a good action sequence is an emotion. If the audience are rooting for him, then you can take the action sequence to any level.
Good action isn't just about explosions and punches. It's about the emotional stakes behind them. When a fight scene is just a display of a hero's invincibility, it loses its meaning. The audience isn't watching a fight, they're supposed to be feeling the character's rage, desperation, or determination. The best action sequences are extensions of the character's emotional journey. But in many modern films, the hero is so detached and the action is so sanitized that there is no feeling behind the spectacle. Many modern Indian action films create an invincible hero who faces no real danger, stripping the action of any genuine tension. The over-reliance on poor CGI further removes the raw, visceral feel of a real fight. This lack of vulnerability makes it impossible for the audience to connect with the hero's struggle. Some great examples of emotional action includes the likes of Agnipath, where the action in this film isn't just about fighting, it's about Vijay Dinanath Chauhan's burning desire for revenge against the man who destroyed his family. The rage fuels his every punch, making each blow feel personal and cathartic. When he finally faces Kanchachina, the action is a culmination of years of suppressed fury, making it a powerful emotional climax. Or Amir Khan's character in Ghajini, who suffers from short-term memory loss and his body is covered in tattoos and notes to remind him of his mission. His fighting is a desperate, fragmented attempt to remember and avenge a memory that keeps slipping away. The action here is a direct extension of his psychological trauma, transforming a simple fight scene into a poignant and tragic display of a broken man's struggle. Or a more recent example of Dangal, where the wrestling scenes are more than just sports. They are a father's unwavering belief and a daughter's struggle against societal expectations. Every takedown, every hold, and every victory is an emotional battle for honor and self-worth.
It was perfect. Perfect.
Coming to the hot seat example of War 2, which though being marketed as a globe-trotting action movie, has an entirely absent emotional core. The film's action feels like a series of meticulously crafted set pieces designed to showcase the star's physique and an immense amount of budget, not to convey a character's inner turmoil. The emotional stakes, the supposed war between former friends, is told through exposition, not through the action itself. The audience is told to feel the betrayal, but the fights are so clean, so impersonal, and so focused on spectacle that the emotional gut punch never lands. In the end, War 2's action is impressive to look at, but it leaves you feeling nothing. Bringing us to the next topic of discussions, the problem with poor visuals and VFX. Let's just accept that the usage of VFX in recent years has increased in Indian cinema, with more and more scenes getting shot amidst a backdrop of green and blue screens, which apparently has also started making action look cheap and unrealistic. Actors and objects appear weightless, lacking proper lighting and shadows, and the CGI itself looks like it's from an older video game. And this happens for several reasons, with release deadline being a major factor. Even before a film's shooting has started, the release date is finalized, meaning that the production is always shooting for an end date rather than a polished product. A significant portion of the film's budget is often allocated to star salaries, leaving a smaller amount for the VFX. As a result, studios may rush the VFX process, leading to a subpar final product, which is anyways fueled by a release date. Films like Adipurush are infamous for their jarringly bad CGI, and on the other hand, films like S.S. Rajamouli's Bahubali and RRR demonstrate that high-quality VFX is achievable in Indian cinema, which look real and give the audience a visceral experience. Beyond poor CGI, a major problem is the blatant disregard for the laws of physics. The action in many films has become so exaggerated that it's impossible to suspend disbelief. Heroes fly through the air, survive impossible falls, and deliver punches that send villains flying hundreds of feet away. This superhuman style of action feels cartoonish and lacks a grounded, visceral feel of well-choreographed fight sequences. And a film like War 2 perfectly illustrates this disregard for physics. Anyone who remembers middle school science will recall Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Now in one scene from War 2, Vikram jumps onto a speeding train. Logically, the immense opposite force generated by the train's motion should push him back, but instead he lands with perfect stability, pauses for a moment, and then starts running effortlessly. The action defies all logic and turns what should be a moment of tension into a ridiculous spectacle. Compare this to the train scene in Gadar, when Sunny, Amisha, and the late Vivek Shok are moving from one bogie to another. The entire action happened without any special effects, without any special gear, and when you watch it, you can see that fear, that tension on the faces of the actors. Coming back to the same War 2 scene, Kabir and Ruhi are seated in a Mini Cooper, which is battling for balance on top of a moving train. It hits an iron pole, its roof is ripped off, yet neither Kabir nor Ruhi are injured, which is only possible if all the characters are superheroes and the car itself is also a super vehicle. And through the entire film, there is no prize for guessing which scene is shot against a green screen and which is not, because the absurdity of the visuals and VFX is profoundly visible. Coming to the last point, director crisis and star system. In a recent interview, filmmaker Karan Johar candidly admitted that Bollywood is facing a director crisis when it comes to mounting large-scale action films.
It is a director crisis. It is. You can't think of more than like a name or two. Like you can't. Like there isn't anyone.
He explained that a generation of filmmakers grew up on a diet of romance and urban globalized cinema, and now they are attempting to create front-footed testosterone cinema that they simply don't have a feel for.
They've never known it. Now they can't learn it. So they emulate it and then fall flat on their face. And like we're going through that problem, we don't have the directors.
This is a stark contrast to directors from the South Indian film industries like S.S. Rajamouli and Prashant Neel, who are masters of the action spectacle because it's a genre they grew up with and understand intimately.
क्या बात है सर? क्या बात है सर? क्या बात है? ये बात है.
Now between you and me, answer honestly. Did you have confidence in Ayan Mukherjee to deliver a good action film in War 2? Because personally, after watching Brahmastra, I am surprised how he even got War 2.
Bolo, tell.
And if he ends up directing Dhoom 4, which is what the reports are saying, then that probably will be the end of the Dhoom franchise.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
This director crisis problem is compounded by Bollywood's entrenched star system. Scripts are often written to serve a star's larger-than-life persona, not to tell a compelling story. This model discourages new, talented directors who might want to create something innovative. The focus on a star's brand over a director's vision means that a film's success is tied more to the name than to the narrative. This herd mentality leads to a cycle of unoriginal, poorly executed action films that lack conviction and creative integrity, ultimately hurting the very genre they are trying to imitate. Now, there are definitely other factors like template-style unoriginal storytelling and change in audience preferences, but when you just take action as a technical aspect, these three reasons stand out for me. What do you think? Do you think the future of action is headed in a different direction that needs course correction? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video insightful and are interested in watching more, check out our video on the post-release discussion of War 2 and Coolie right here. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.